Now we hop on over. There you go. This is, so don't forget, this is now, we're in Asia replays. You can see at the top right. So these happen again overnight while we were all asleep. I was asleep like a baby. That's not true. I woke up several times. I was mad about it. Moffin XD, though, was the victor coming out of that Asia region.
Yep, you see there, Moffin finds someone hiding in the cone. Does capitalize on a nice little elimination. Sees the loot back there, but might be a little too far to go scavenge for, so he's just on the hunt still here. As things are poised up outside of the Dusty Divot. Really tough place to battle out of. You never want to find yourself in the center of it. Nice shot right there. As he catches someone who's running right by. These competitive players are so good with the accuracy. Oh, he's trying to play the loot hoarder here, trying to get all the mats and stuff that he did not battle for, and now he's got the storm against his back, and there's no way that man was going to get out of there, because with the 60-second threshold now, the storm can also just reward that elim regardless to Moffin here. And whoa, he jumps into the zone for the desperate materials. Didn't even rift out. Ouch, it's going to cost him like 70 health there, Zeke.
That's a lot. Okay, so he did pick up 3 campfires. Sure, he can heal up, but that's such a tell, right? The moment you place a campfire, you're telling everyone around you, hey, I am low HP. I have to use this if I hope to survive. Now, keep in mind, he was at the edge of the storm. He had quite the rotation to make. Because he dipped into the storm, everyone else is already making their way into safety. He's going to have a relatively safe rotation, but, like, again, he's in critical condition. If he finds an elim, it's going to be huge. That siphon's going to just put him right back into fighting condition, but he's got to find that elim.
Dude, talk about, like, insane rotation. First of all, he didn't get shot once coming from the further side of the Dusty Divot, and there was multiple players set up on bases. That is what we call that little bit of luck factor that sometimes you just need to kind of pull through here, because it doesn't happen like that very often. Someone gets rifted up there. Moffin lands a nice little 78. He's still in the game right now. Still in the game here.
He's going to reload that heavy snipe. So just look for an opportunity. I doubt he's going to try and go for close range snipes. He's probably going to use that to just punch into people's bunkers. He has his own rift to go. If things get a little hairy, I think he probably wants to use it, because if you, this is great. Just punch through, there you go, and use the other player's rift.
Look at his health again.
Yeah, but look where we're going right now. We're going on the little lip there of Dusty Divot. That's such an incline that if you don't make it first, you can actually box other people out, and then they have to burn materials to get over the little hill there. So I like that play, just saying, you know what? This guy used the rift, and look at this. Prime real estate.
You just said it too, right? Like, you want to get on the lip there and see what you can do. Moffin comes in with some shots here. Looking for the replacement.
Wow.
Rolls off the cone, Zeke. Wow. Just like that.
And this is huge now, too, because not only does he get all the elims, the campfire's still going, so people are going to be like, oh, that player must be weak. Would we like to engage him? And Moffin sitting on 200 is like, please. No, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on in.
That'll be a big mistake for someone there. Let's look at this map here. This is the Asian region, guys. We're tuned in with Asia. Hopping into some of what occurred overnight here. Char Mew looking to get his little moment here on the show. Nice shot right there. Oh, man, Char gets hit with the Shadow Bomb. Don't forget, guys, that animation, while you're in Shadow Bomb as well, you're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You can take damage. You're not invincible in the Shadow Bomb form.
Man, Charmy is just burning through materials. That was a pretty rough rotation. It's probably going to cost him in the long run, because, I mean, he did go through quite a bit of mats, but you know, Monster, I like to pose this question. I've already posed it to Pookie. I've posed it to Kitty. You know, you guys are members of the community. You know, you've taught so many of us different things. You know, you've got a podcast. In case you know who Monster D-Face is, go send him a follow. He's incredible. But you've been in situations like this, right? You've played in Summer Skirmish. You played in, I think, Fall Skirmish as well, right?
Yep.
You know, we went to Korea together to watch the Korea Open. So you understand what these players are thinking. For maybe people that are kind of new to Fortnite, that maybe this might be their first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them?
Yeah,
like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsuo thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like, obviously, initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here. Nice little trap play. So just even every single decision can be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off all plans for escape. Right. Something small like that. Here, editing his way down, right? He does not have an escape plan. that elim right there is going to give him the launch pad, of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way competitive players play zone, they typically like to hug the zone. They never give too much, they don't take too much real estate in the end moments. They take their time and kind of hug the zone instead, flirt with that storm line. So many little different things that come into competitive play, and you can really just nitpick and break it all apart. It's so crazy in the highest levels.
Yeah, I just love talking about that stuff. I'm not great at articulating my thoughts with that kind of stuff. I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to tell you a thing.
It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it is just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other BR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me to this game specifically. So we are looking at Moffin, who pulled through, man, took it right underneath the feet of people like Aim Hero that Zeke and I had. We had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sinnoh out there.
We met him.
We met all, dude. It's like so surreal, dude,
yeah,
right?
Dude. I remember that story that would happen so vividly. We met him because we were like, we're like in almost like a green room waiting to go. Yeah. And we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh, hey, like, hi.
Matter of fact, remember, there was like this divider, we were standing over it, and they were like, Zeke, I love you.
And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, you're Zeke, and you're Monster D-Face. We were like, wait, oh, first of all, congratulations, Moffin XD. We know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the Victor Royale, 21-point game, massive lead for him. But yeah, I remember, and then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster, and you're Zeke, and I was just like, what was
We're out the country.
This
is Fortnite on a global scale here.
The snipe coming out. Oh, wow, what a massive shot coming out of Moffin there. And look, check this out. 31 players left. He's already on 6 eliminations. This guy is crazy, and this is who's going to the World Cup Finals. This is the level of play we will see in the finals.
Keep in mind, too, though, guys, EU and the American regions, the European and American region, will of course have a larger presence just off of the sheer numbers. So it is going to be interesting how the top 20 turns out. Especially against everyone else too, though.
Sure.
Because that means, oh man, just think about it.
I think Final's gonna have its own meta.
They're gonna have a style, and of course the pressure's gonna be high, guys. I think the real question is who's gonna have the confidence to take a fight and win a fight. Who is straight up gonna have the confidence and just be like, you know what? I don't respect your builds. I'm pushing you. Who's gonna be that guy, right? Because that's really what it comes down to. If you are confident like that, that's why you see people like Bugga, Dubs, Clicks, right? Stompy. They was like, what duo are you? I don't care if you're Kinstar. I'm gonna take your wall right now.
Exactly.
And that level of play is why. And dude, we've seen Stompy do it every week. Even this time around, he got 11. He was just outside of top 10. So trust me, he's still here, guys. That's what they do. They just do crazy plays.
Yeah, that's actually something you taught me way back when. Is you cannot. Let's say it's just Zeke, me, and I'm in this game somehow. I don't know, some alternate universe, and I'm good at the game, and I'm fighting off against someone like Moffin here who qualified as that #1 player going into finals. I cannot stop and sit here and go, that's Moffin. I know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
I can't make a mistake. I just have to go. It doesn't matter who that is. I just have to play my game. I have to play the very best that I can. And at the end of the day, that's all I can ask for, right? Like, the moment you stop and think, that's Tfue, I think, that it's already too late. You've already made the error, right? Like, you can't stop. And some people can't. So they're like, okay, I know that's Tfue. I know he's going to try and probably do this based on what I've seen and the information I have. But if you're just sitting there and thinking like, oh, man, that's Tfue. I don't know if I can fight him. Like, no, you can fight him. You've made it to finals for a reason. Take the fight if you think you can.
Yeah,
right?
it's also going to get crazy, too, because for Fortnite World Cup, if you guys don't know already, we're going through full games. The early game story, the contestant, the points of interest, who likes to land where the map's going to be at that point, right? Things are going to change, and the game is going to be played in a way that we have not seen yet. And that's what excites me the most, is that we're going to see 100 of the world's best under one hub. The Fortnite World Cup.
Oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And to see all the Fortnite fans there as well, kind of cheering on the people they support, it's going to be
Are you ready
amazing.
to feel the crowd's energy?
I'm going to cry.
Rip through your body?
I'm going to cry, dude.
It's literally you're going to feel the vibration of the entire stadium.
Just erupt when incredible plays happen, you know?
Oh, man.
Man, dude, chills, dude, chills.
Chills, dude.
Oh, yeah, we just fist bumped. You guys didn't see it. Fortnite fan, we had a little bit of a moment there. We hope you had that moment with us. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Are you ready? Are you hyped for the Fortnite World Cup finals in New York City? Alter Ego here finds an elimination, cracks that player. Now, this is his first elim. He's probably hoping for more, right? At this point, he wants as many points as possible. So he's going to look to probably play a little bit more aggressive, right? But look at everyone else. Moffin, the #1 player who came through for Asia, is in this lobby, and he's dominating the high ground. 12 eliminations, by the way.
He has just been shutting it down while we've been chatting up a storm here. Moffin going for the high ground. He's holding it. Nice little side jump right there. No errors coming out of him. And look at how he uses the boom bow to crack open all the builds. Nice little 82 right there. Here comes the pressure. Can he get the follow-up? He's looking for it. Nice little side jump, and that's another one. This player is in pickaxe territory. Bye-bye jackpot. And Moff could not even get the loot off that. Couldn't get the spoils. Another boom bow crack open right there. And when a fresh build comes out, if you do not hesitate, you send a boom bow right away, you break it all open. So that's how he's able to just like catch these players off guard, because those roof panels are just, that's it, exploding right up.
Yeah.
Down to the low ground, CXV gets one elim there, and it's Macy and Mev who's going toe-to-toe. Mob still just has the dominant position.
Yeah, I mean, so he's going to drop down. He's got the single build, so he had to take a little bit of fall damage.
Jake, I know it's not me. I'm allowed to stream this.
And look at this, immediately.
I'm not claiming it as myself. I'm just streaming this to show people who can't play or want to watch and play at the same time.
Moffin was prepared.
I never said it was me.
Again, it's just about dictating the game, right? He's like, I want you to challenge me. You know that I'm hurt. How hurt I am, you do not know. And just like that, dictating the game yet again cleans up that victory out. 15 eliminations.
Points is that? It's that 25-point game.
That's
literally doubling his score out of nowhere. If you were in the top 10 and you had that come up, that's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, guys, we've had an awesome time, but for now, we're going to pause. Let's send it back into the studio with Dr. Rico. We had a terrible repetitive joke, dude, but I appreciate the effort. Crazy games from Asia, and Oceania. You never see kind of the meta changes from how different regions present themselves and the way that they adjust their gameplay relative to everybody else.
But Europe today, and as we've seen multiple times in the past, Europe has done an excellent job of putting on a show like I think few people could even possibly imagine. And to talk about that and an interesting turn of events for who ended up at the top, joining me right now is Sundown. What do you think so far about Europe?
Thank you so much, Lupo. Indeed, it was crazy. So just a couple of quick facts. 15 points separated. That means a 5-point victory route was the difference of going to New York City and being in the 100th spot. That is absurd for how close it was. Blackso, in that final game we watched, pushed him up to 61 points. He was tied at 61, but because he had the victory royale and got the average elim at the end, it pushed him into the last spot. We talk about how every single interaction ends up mattering, and then unfortunately on the outside looking in, Airwalks, the last play we saw, if he had had one more build. He could have made it up the elevation and kept the storm. Instead, lost it, lost the victory royale, and lost his spot in New York City. Mitro also on the outside looking in, 2 top 15 finishes, but not being enough. That lets you know how crazy it is. However, the player who took the top spot was Cypher's Andretta with a crazy run, and we're going to be joined by him right now. Andretta, man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good.
I mean, I would hope so. So we saw you yesterday put on an incredible show. In week after week, your placings have gone up. What was the difference between this weekend and all of the other weekends? Were you just feeling it? Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast? What's going on?
The thing is, the other weeks I wasn't that confident, but this week I decided to try and talk with someone while playing. So that kind of helped. Getting to like talk to people, getting them to calm you down and stuff. And I got good RNG. Very good.
Nice, yeah, being able to get all of that and put it together. So you got off to an incredible run, winning 2 of your first 4 games. How were you able to get those victories? Did you just dominate them out? You had a solid amount of elims. What were those wins like?
I was using the bowler to get the endgame. And then I usually found out like when I needed to drop out and stuff to go for the eliminations. And I usually had my bowler until endgame. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until endgame, because it's really strong. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win the game. Also, you can use the bowler to get height most of the times.
Yeah,
so I did that sometimes. And
we saw you execute on that a number of times, which is kind of something we were talking about, pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive. Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead, and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you're in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But I got to ask a kind of a random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
All right, you see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please shout out your own channels, shout out your duo's channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shokoladen, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City, and as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. We'll be seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, the kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24
right now. Yep.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him honestly for getting emotional in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, give him all the plugs, because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment, but we have more games and more regions to be getting into. We saw Oceania and Asia. Just now, we're going to hop on in to Brazil for a brief little bit. So, back on over to the cast as we go.
Thank you guys so much. Man, you know, I feel like we just nerded out about Fortnite. But now seeing Andretta be there and just like talk about things, it makes me want to nerd out more.
Dude, it gives me the feels, man. These young champions coming up and coming out, and it's crazy. Like he said, he just knew he made it, because if you look at the track history of all the players who've qualified so far, I say it every week, it only takes about 5 or 6 games. That's all it takes. If you get 5 or 6 aces, just solid games, big points, big placement, you're knocking on the door.
Right.
All you gotta do is not choke the rest. Just ease it out. Just ease it out. Get a couple here, get a couple there. Secure the deal, and Andretta knew 5 games in, oh my gosh, I think I got the 5 that I really needed to make it to New York City. And that was it. That was like literally it. Long behold, though, he gets first. First in the whole thing. European, the toughest region, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the toughest regions. Of course, you can't take away from West, who sometimes only gets 1 spot. You know, OCE, Asia, and Brazil, of course, they only get 1 spot. It's crazy. That's arguably harder, but when you talk about mass player pool, Europe is hard, dude. To get #1 is insane.
Well, especially for Andretta, I had a card not that long ago kind of saying a few of his placement spots. Last week we watched him end in 610th place, and now the last solo week, now to see him in the final week come out as that #1 player, you know, that's
Just clips.
you know, I would associate like, you know, there's 8 spots, and if you hit one of 8, great, awesome, I've qualified, great. But to be able to say, of that 8, I was #1. Look, you know, Tifus of the world, you guys need to respect my game. I came in #1 in Europe. That's why I'm here in the finals. Like, let's go. It's going to be insane. Oh man, I love Fortnite so much. 23 people left in the current lobby though. Monster hopping in Storm Circle 6. Now, guys, don't forget, we are hopping into Brazil games. These are live. For a moment there, we had the timer. We're about 1:30 or so left on queue times. Don't forget, it's 10 games.
An hour.
About an hour 40. Okay, I was close. Darn. I was just off by 10. We have either that 3-hour window or 10 matches to play, whichever comes first. And then obviously we're gonna, you know, make sure that, because don't forget, you can queue up even with those last few seconds and then play out an entire match. We want to just make sure everyone has enough time to wrap up their games, get those standings out. But here we go, Peru, hopping in with him, 100 ping. All right.
Things are unfolding right now as we speak. So this is a live situation here. Brazil, known for another region that you have to pick up heavy eliminations, secure placement points. This is not just a win every game and you make it through scenario. You need the elims as well. Nice shot right there from Peru. 100 ping. Connecting with the combat. Oh, bumps his noggin right there, and it's going to cost him a second launch pad.
Yeah, you definitely want to look up. You never want to make that happen because you waste a secondary launch pad, but it's okay. New rotation coming out. He's got to reassess. He's going to be able to get himself to safety. Now, he's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region. All the W7M boys. You see the red teams, right? You know, Snow, just to name one. You know, the X-Own King. So many talented players.
Seen Techno Viking kind of
also from red, you know, man, there's so many players here that this spot could go to. Tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, Kin, I'm gonna go ahead and shut you down. You took that launch pad, I need it, and that's what helps him make the rotation.
Ooh, but he does get hit by a combat. It's Ice who's in the high ground, so Peru's now found himself in a dire situation. He's got to start healing. Tony's underneath the build, putting some pressure up. But Tony gets melted by Code, Pulsari, and so does Gabriel. Just gets owned by Vanessa on the edge there. Clip Node now putting pressure down. We're going to hop into his perspective here as he's looking for this combat. That's 1, that's 2. Doesn't find a 3rd, but it's okay as he raises himself up into the layer. He's trying to get a brief moment of peace in this crazy storm that he's in right here. He can't even heal. A nice little shot. Fran, he catches him in the toe. It's going to keep him in the game here.
This is huge, man. He's already on 8 eliminations. When we talk about elimination counters, especially on finals, 8 is massive. You know this player has been on a spree. And look at this. Clipnote looking to play it out as technically as possible, looking for these angles, waiting for people to turn their backs and send shots over. I think he's trying to go for the wall replace.
Yeah, he hit this guy for white, so he knows he can take this right here. He's got to be careful, though. Can't let his guard down. Turns around. It's Peru, who was in a weird spot before. He was very low on health. Turns that one around. Someone else goes down to the storm right there, so Clipno couldn't even get that. It's Vamos, who was still in the game. And Exakal holding up the high ground right now. What's he gonna do? He's just walking on these builds. He doesn't have anything left. Neither does Clipnote.
In the shadow form, he just obliterates the player. That was absolutely insane. But Clipnote is the victor of that game. Like, see what it did there? You maybe saw it, maybe didn't. It's okay. Next game, though, massive prop. Oh, you see
the clip and the this and the that.
I just rhymed. No big deal. I'm not a rapper. 44 players in the next game. Moving on in. Man, he popped that ghost right in the sky. Maybe you could call him a ghost buster.
Oh.
Shout outs to Jeff.
Right,
I made your joke. We're going to high five after this from production.
Take his joke?
Yeah, he wanted me to make the joke on broadcast, so I did it. Again, guys, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give production some love. There's so many people that work so hard to make this all possible, and they're all wonderful human beings that I honestly cannot give and express enough love for. So just say, hashtag Fortnite World Cup production team. You guys are awesome. That would mean the world to me and to them. And an hour and a half. I guess 36 minutes. I'm just going to be specific because everyone's always like, you're rounding, don't do that. I'm sorry, it's just how I work.
Yeah, Zeke, there's 1 hour and 36 exact minutes and 13 seconds at this current moment. Every second, every moment matters.
That's right. Here we go.
It's Fax trying to get this guy to come down. Combat redeploy. He gets behind the tree. Tree works on his favor and Shadow Bomb.
You saw too. He was like, dude, I want this elim. I worked real hard. I need to find it. And they Shadow Bomb out. They're like, no. And in the end, it was the elimination credit. He must have fallen to the storm. Don't forget, with those recent changes, you got to be more careful, man. That 60-second timer, you can't play around with that.
Dude, he must have. I can only imagine in shadow form, if you wall hop off of a structure and it throws you back just a little bit. It must have been just enough to hold him into the storm.
Yeah.
And that's how Fax caught that elimination here. As the congestion, this is unreal for the Brazil region. You don't see it get this crazy, but 40 players basically on a non-moving zone right now. We're just approaching the first. Luco boy finds Mew Pao there, and Oni Tomori is putting in some pressure as well. Just kind of seeing what he can find here. Fax just waiting on by, trying to...
He's got the launch pad.
Holding it in the hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it away, because if you put it down early, it does make that sound, and players know, all right, community launch pad, there you go. Great, you making sure that the storm overtakes it, so if anyone else wants to do it, they take the damage for it. Bro, we are nowhere. It's still 9 players. 8 players need to fall before top 25.
Yeah, this is actually insane right now. These guys are sticking around for placement in these final moments here. But if you want to take first place, you got to get elims here, and that's why Fax is being so proactive right now.
Something to point out, too, check the right side of your screen. The damage threshold, don't forget about that. Look at this number, though. 1,000 damage above the threshold. This guy is putting in work right now. Fax, he is going full send. He is aware. He wants to try and qualify. Remember, there's a spot up for grabs in Brazil, and these are live games happening right now. So, you know, Oceania and Asia happen overnight.
Going for the high ground. Clothesline to Zoom. Straight up. Hits him with the 96. And now he's in it. But he's going to go down to the low ground here. He doesn't want to contest for the high. He still has to pop some minis. And the server's collapsing on him with raining fire here. He's got to be extremely careful. Lucky for him, the high ground is in a battle of its own now. Fax catches a moment to regather himself. His Ganks and Lorax is in the high ground.
Man, and look at all these players coming in from the community launch pads, any rotational tools they had, the Rift to Goes. Oh, yeah.
That's a weird place to be, man. You can't build on that thing.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You have to build over it.
Up and over.
A shot into the storm. Oh, my. That is Tuelas picked up. 2. Tate as well. Frita. Batata frita. 2 eliminations of aim.
Is that another? Oh, that one's just yoinked from him. He almost had it. But credit is still to be had here as he is turning up right now.
Bro.
I can't pronounce that the way Zeke did, but Batata Frita is going in right now. He's looking for this high ground.
You see the technical builds, too? Using the cone and then hopping out around, using that floor to catch yourself so you kind of save a build there? All right. All right, Batata Frita. I'm about it. An 82 and a follow-up. That is Lorax.
And he got the mats. That's what's important here. He does have the materials to hold out now. The high ground is his. Can he stick it out, though? Yes, players are dropping right now. We're in top 6 suddenly. So all these placements are being divvied out. Just one more person goes down, and just a little bit more is going to be rewarded to him here.
Man.
You can see the shot there.
This was really good from him, right? Making the decision to go high ground. Look at this. He's put him in the top 5. We were top 25 when we kind of tuned into him, right around there. And because of his decision-making, he's gotten himself all the placement points. The victory route is the next threshold. And look, Monster, he's just looking to close this out.
That's right, and I love it because he's just textbook holding his high ground, but he is out of mats now. So this is where you have to go down, uses the cone right there to sit on that, and he just has to give the high ground to a veer here.
I believe that is Avalar, I think.
Oh, Avalar, gotcha.
Yes, I think so. Sundown can correct me at some point. He's going to go toe-to-toe with that player, though, and that is it. Good day, sir.
All right, did he get mats off that? He didn't, Zeke.
He's got the flint knock, though. He's got...
he's got the combat. That's what he's got right there. One more shot to Wonder Urzen is going to go down. Is he going to go down? Yes, he is. Free to connects in the final moments right there. Walks away with the 6th elimination victory royale.
Man, 16-point game coming out of the Brazil region. You like to see it. Now, Fortnite fam, you know we've had so much fun hanging out with you, but for now, let's sit it back in the studio and see what Dr. Lubo's got.